It's Filter Free Friday, y'all. I am so glad y'all are here. You know, when I think about changing cultures or changing anything really, I like to think of it as a garden. You have to have people who are willing to go into the existing system and till the soil. That's super hard work because the soil probably don't have much nutrients in it. And in order to get the nutrients in it, you got to put up with a whole lot of manure, and it's stinky and nasty and ugly in order to make progress. But the reason tillers do that work is to make space for those of us who are planters. Planting's not easy work, but what I do love about planters is that they're willing to work from sun up to sundown, in the rain, in the sun, the heat of the day, in order to get the work done. However, when the harvest starts to show, tillers and planters, once reaping the harvest, once we start to reap the harvest, will want to take their foot off the pedal. And if all you do is till and plant, what do you think happens to a garden? You know, weeds will take over. And so you have to have weed pullers who are out there saying, I am going to keep pulling at this thing that does not fit into what we are trying to create until I see some semblance of what good looks like. And I'm going to keep going until it looks exactly like what it's supposed to look like. Have you ever seen somebody pulling weeds? You can't hardly stop them. They just get into that thing. Now, while I'm not a gardener, I do feel like I'm trying to sow some seeds of change out here. And last week, President Barack Obama said, hey, we can't go too far to the left or be too revolutionary. And some of my progressive friends were incredibly upset about that. But here's what I need y'all to realize. Barack Obama's a tiller, y'all. You don't get to the office of the presidency without being a tiller. You certainly ain't gonna get there being a weed puller. Those people who point out where hatred is everywhere it shows up and says, I'm gonna stomp it out at every turn, not gonna make it to the highest levels of leadership. Which takes me to Mr. Stephen A. Smith. You know, Stephen A. Smith's kind of revolutionary as he's talking about things on the court and on the field. But Stephen A. Smith ain't revolutionary as we think about him from a race perspective. And so he didn't get to that level of leadership by being a weed puller. In fact, we are regularly looking for seats at the table so that we can impact policy, procedures, and practices, only to get to that level and understand that the seat we were given at that table was just full of nothing but broken chairs. Everybody else at the table got chairs that hold the weight of their ideas, the communities for whom they're representing. But us, sometimes we're there just to be able to quiet people down. And I could give you a whole litany of reasons why that happens. But my major point is this. We need tillers and planters and weed pullers in order to make healthy gardens grow. And so, you know, I need for us to be thoughtful about unity, not uniformity. What does it look like when a tiller is attacking an issue? What does it look like when a planter is attacking an issue? And what does it look like when a weed puller is attacking an issue? I know I happen to be a planter. And so I tend to make space and room for people who don't think about it like I do to do the work. It's going to look different. And it actually hurts my heart. I got some feedback the other day that said that I was tearing down the work of Glenn Singleton. You know, it couldn't be any further from the truth. That man is doing spectacular work around courageous conversations about race. If you haven't seen his book or his facilitators manuals, I invite you to get them. Here's what I am saying though. That ain't my way. That ain't my way. That don't mean his way wrong. That mean it ain't my way. I got a session today, y'all, and it's Friday. So I'm going to need the saints and the ain'ts to lift up prayers, sprinkle magic fairy dust, because you know, honey, how this is. And I want you to think about this for a moment. I don't want to go into all white spaces and help white people see their prejudice, their bias, and their discrimination. I'm doing it because I believe that eventually we can sow seeds of change. Sometimes people think I'm doing it for my own best interest. Child, please. This work is being done for every reason but my own self-interest. I get attacked in ways that you can't even imagine. This work, if done consistently, is going to benefit white people just as it benefits black people. This narrative that working in the diversity, equity, and inclusion space is about some moral compass that you just have to do because your heart is in it. I'm sorry, don't sign me up for that. What I'm telling you is inclusive organizations are places whereby that organization performs better. Everybody in it gets a better outcome. Can you imagine a school district where there's no disproportionality based on race? Can you imagine a place where the black children, the brown children, the children with special needs, the children with English as a second language are all performing on the same level as their white peers? You know who benefits? All the property owners, the school district, the teachers will get paid better. Don't try to make this like y'all trying to save somebody. Ain't no Captain Save-A-Ho going on over here. If you think about it, you doing what's in your best interest. So I probably need to comb my hair because you know how biases work. I'm not going to though. It's Filter Free Friday, y'all. We got work to do.